with internet here. So we finally got it going.
God got us
right
through,
now,
baby.
Amanda Grace is through these doors on the stage. We're going to walk you in there in a minute. We're going to give you 5 minutes of Amanda. Okay, but this is the first speaker. If you want to watch this live, go to Rhema.tv. Our Mom Patriot Gallery says that Brighteon is having issues, but go to Rhema.tv and you can watch this.
Show.
Or ThriveTimeShow.com.
We missed
Amanda Grace, but here's the deal. You're going to be able to watch all of these speakers after the fact, okay? As we were walking in, we were listening to the word that she was giving, and it was so encouraging and so powerful. All right, so here's the deal. Who wants to go in, since we're live right now, and listen to the national anthem with this crowd? I think we should do it.
Let's do it.
Active duty military, raise your hand for us. Active duty. Wow, thank you. Military families, all families are your military families. Thank you so much for serving our country. Law enforcement, raise your hands. We love you.
Right here, it's good.
Patriots, put your hands
Michelle.
up. Honor our flag that has suffered so much persecution in the past few years. We're all going to salute the flag and sing with them. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare above bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the Put your hands together for Brighteon.
Okay, I'm honored you guys are here. Thank you for putting up with me. We're going to start off by killing the spirit of fear. We're going to start off by killing the spirit of fear. What we are going to do now is kill the spirit of fear. So I would like to bring up Dr. Ron Marsh, if I can, Dr. Jim Meehan, if I can, Dr. Richard Bartlett, if I can, Dr. Keith Bose, if I can, Oklahoma State Senator Nathan Dobb, if I can, and Cecilia K. Lynn, retired RN. As I bring them up, I'm going to bring up some points. I encourage you to take notes. Assume I'm crazy, okay? Write this website down, please. Write this down, because this is about a revival, an awakening. It's like I want everybody here to become a high-pressure MLM salesperson for freedom. Looking for referrals. So here's the deal. The models that said that 2.2 million people would die, those are false. Those were funded by the Abdul Latif Jameel Institute and the always nefarious Neil Ferguson. Know his name. He ruined your year. Neil Ferguson. Get fun target. Neil Ferguson. Abdul Latif Jameel Institute. How many by show of hands know that Neil Ferguson said that 2.2 million people would die? Who knows that? He was wrong by 25 times. I've explained this often. My wife is 5 feet 3 inches tall, 5 feet 3 1/4. If I were to tell you my wife is 125 feet tall and we need to make some precautions, we need to make some adjustments to this arena, to this facility to make room for her arrival, one could see maybe we need to build a Javits Center, retrofit it as a hospital, maybe we need to ship in boats. Maybe if the virus was super deadly, but the models that said that 2.2 million people would die, those are false. Intentionally false. The PCR test, the COVID-19 test, the PCR test, the instant COVID-19 test. You should get tested. We should get tested. We should all get tested to see if we have a virus so deadly, we don't know if we have it. The PCR tests are falsely calibrated. Those PCR tests are supposed to be set at 17 cycles. Ladies and gentlemen, in Tulsa County, those are set at 40 cycles. 40 cycles, which means the models that said that 2.2 million people would die are false. The PCR tests are false. And the treatments for COVID-19 are 100% effective. And you might say, well, how do we have all the deaths? It's called misattribution of death. Dr. Scott Jensen, our good friend and the senator from Minnesota, has talked about this. Who's seen this? Have you noticed that COVID has cured the flu?
Yes.
Nobody dies of the flu in Oklahoma now because of COVID. Nobody dies of a heart attack because of COVID. Nobody dies of pneumonia because of COVID. But in Oklahoma, there are 2 rules about COVID to protect yourself from COVID. I want you to write these down. They're very important. It's a tricky virus. Step 1, when you walk into a restaurant, you need to wear a mask when you're in the lobby because COVID can get you in the lobby. Once you sit down, you duck underneath the height of the tall virus. And you duck. And you have to duck. How many of you are under 5 feet 3 inches? You're safe. You're good. You don't need to wear a mask. You got to duck. Who noticed that last night? Went out to eat? Mask in the lobby, dangerous. When you sit down, it's fine. 2, the virus comes out at night. That's why our wise governor decided to do you got a quarantine, you got a curfew. 11:01, folks, the virus comes out at night. It's a scary virus. It looks like Dr. Fauci. It changes its mind all the time. Who remembers voting for Dr. Fauci in 1984? Remember Dr. Fauci? He says, he should wear a mask. He should wear a mask. And Trump says, can you stand up, Dr. Fauci? He says, I am standing up. You gotta wear the mask. Remember that? You shouldn't wear a mask. He's on 60 Minutes. Wearing a mask definitely does not help you. They make you feel the droplets. You gotta wear a mask. You gotta wear 2 masks. I'm in favor of him wearing 8 masks. The guy is a nefarious moron. Dr. Fauci is a criminal.
Yes.
Dr. Fauci is a criminal. Dr. Fauci is a criminal. If they want to arrest me for spreading medical misinformation, I'll start a prison ministry. Dr. Fauci is a criminal.
Yes.
Now, since I'm not a doctor, because that's the first step to discrediting you, you gotta, are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? We shouldn't shut down the Moana. We shouldn't shut down the Moana. We should shut down the Moana. They're going to ask you, how many asked you, are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? So I'm going to bring up some doctors. We're going to start off with Dr. Richard Bartlett. Dr. Richard Bartlett. This is Dr. Richard Bartlett, who is a former top medical advisor for the governor of Texas for 7 consecutive years. Governor Perry. He got one of my channels kicked off of YouTube. He's responsible for getting me banned from LinkedIn. I got banned from Instagram because I was sharing that he has treated COVID-19 patients with 0 deaths and it's very affordable. Dr. Bartlett, share how.
Well, it's cheap, readily available. It's the best kept secret about COVID in the United States. And it's because there's been a concerted effort. Friends like Clay and Mike Smith and others who have tried to spread this good news, this useful information, have been deplatformed, have been punished in many ways.
My phone got banned. I can't call my wife and switch phone numbers. My phone got banned. Literally, UDestinide.
And so, back in March last year, I was praying, and I was an ER doctor in between patients, and had a moment to take a nap in the call room, and as I was waking up from a dream, I believe the Lord gave me a winning strategy. And when I started using it, people who were on had 2 forms of blood cancer, lymphoma, on chemotherapy, had radiation a month before, lived and didn't die. That wasn't supposed to happen. And
can we cheer for people in life? Come on!
And living. And I got excited about that, and I thought others would be excited about it too. But you're going to see when I speak, when I uncover this later, that Anthony Fauci personally targeted budesonide because it was a threat. What was it a threat to? Why did he enlist Matthew McConaughey, an A-list actor, to get this message out that that budesonide is a placebo, he said? That it doesn't really help? Why would he target budesonide? Because it is, I made the mistake a year ago of using the term silver bullet. I said it was a silver bullet for COVID a year ago, and I got attacked for that because that's supposed to be a medical term. And so doctors who didn't want that, anonymous complaints were turned into the medical board saying hey, I have a question, that's a problem.
Medically speaking, I want to make sure I get the terms right. Is Dr. Fauci an idiot?
So, as a doctor, my second opinion is I concur.
Okay. So clarify the language. I want to make sure we're on the right track. I'm a simple person. We the people are simple people.
Everyone here, in case someone doesn't come back later, Oxford University a year later, after 500,000 deaths, according to the experts, 90% of those people, if they were treated early with budesonide, would not have been in the hospital. I think the hospitals were overwhelmed, weren't they? And they wouldn't have even been an ER visit, and they wouldn't have even been an urgent care visit, according to Oxford University. And so just think about what this would have looked like last year, 450,000 deaths. Does that mean 450,000 deaths wouldn't have happened in the United States? You're going to hear how the Lord provides, how he answers prayer, how he knew the problem was coming and he had an answer before it came. And so God is on our side. We're not helpless or hopeless.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to time2freeamerica.com, Julia, if you can pull it up, time2freeamerica.com, the models that said that 2.2 million people would die, those are false. The PCR tests, those are false. The treatments are 100% effective and are being banned for false reasons. All right, let's try that again. It's kind of an interactive game here. The models that said that 2.2 million people would die, those are false. PCR test that tells everybody they have COVID, those are false. 100% effective treatments are being kept from you for reasons that are false. Right. It's unbelievable. It's all right there at time2freeamerica.com. Dr. Bartlett, let's hear for Dr. Bartlett, folks. We'll be back later. Thank you. Now, because I'm not a doctor, I thought, well, I should call my friend who's a doctor. So I called our good friend, Dr. Rob Marsh. We met through this because he's a critical thinker. I'm a critical thinker. I'm not wearing a mask. He's not wearing a mask. I'm thinking, what? Well, how many of you met someone at the supermarket that's not wearing a mask and you now have a love connection? I think you're my uncle. You have a face, so do I remember, it was like 2019. Okay, so Dr. Marsh is a medical doctor, and I would like for him to explain how the PCR tests work. And as he explains how that works, again, if you go to time2freeamerica.com, I've documented for you in great detail how the case inflation happens, okay? And it's all free information right there for you. Dr. Rob Marsh, let's hear for Dr. Rob Marsh, folks. Let's hear for Dr. Rob Marsh.
Thank you. So who knows how a PCR test works?
How PCR test
PCR, who knows how it works? All right, think of it as a magnifying glass. And if you keep magnifying something, even in our house, eventually you'll find a speck of dust. It's a clean house. So all it does is it cycles things. So every time you cycle this, it's like the threshold, it magnifies whatever it's looking for. In this case, we're magnifying something that's a virus. And we're magnifying it so much, it's always positive. In fact, the World Health Organization came out in January and they said at 40 cycles, it's 100% false.
Can we repeat that? In Tulsa County, the COVID-19 PCR tests are set between 37 and 40 cycles. You just said, what?
At 40 cycles per the WHO, it's 100% false.
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I've been listening to the mainstream media. I haven't been able to tune into One American News. I haven't been able to find One American News. I've been watching CNN because there's pretty people. I watch ABC because there's pretty people. I like to watch pretty dumb people on television. I'm sorry, I was watching Jimmy Kimmel. I was watching Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, how you doing? So the thing is, can you repeat that again? The PCR tests are false at what level?
So it's set at 40. And at 40, it's always going to be a false positive because you don't know. So if it's positive at 40, it doesn't mean you've had it. It doesn't mean you're getting it. And it doesn't mean you had it. In fact, I just saw, this has been a God thing. So I've met several virologists through this. This virus actually can insert, it looks like, a little bit of its RNA. Hence the reason that if you've had a coronavirus for up to 8 weeks, you can remain positive. So it doesn't mean you've been sick, it just means you may have had a coronavirus in you, and it's still lingering. It doesn't mean you're contagious.
And if we had a massive number of cases of a super deadly virus, we should also have a massive number of... Oh, and this could change everything.
And what happened this month? So a peer-reviewed article just came out and looked at the data from March. It said 191,000 people died of COVID in March. When they looked at the data, because remember, Dr. Burke said anybody who has symptoms or a positive COVID test is going to be listed as a COVID death. When the peer-reviewed journal looked at it, they actually could only find 9,000 deaths and 191,000 that were truly a corona death.
I want to thank the government for not closing down the scarf stores during the shutdown. That was apparently essential. We need a new scarf every day. Who noticed that? New scarf every day? Impressive. Now let's just say, by the way, let's hear from Dr. Marsh. Dr. Marsh, thank you for being here. Now let's just throw out this is a crazy idea. Let's say that you had COVID-19, okay? And you said, I call you up, I say, you know, boop, 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 I call you, hey, what's going on, Carl? And you say, I don't want to go outside, I've got this upper respiratory infection, I'm going to quarantine. I'm not going to visit you. Problem solved. The people who are sick can quarantine themselves. How many have had that thought before? Oh, let's round up all the healthy people and make them easy. What? It's just jackassery. It's fear porn. It's called mainstream media. I'm telling you. Now, even if the model said that 333 million Americans might die, if I was governor, I'd say, keep it open. Let her rip. I'm being serious. I'm an entrepreneur. I wasn't guaranteed success. Most don't succeed. I've had a lot of success. God has a plan, but if I fail, I don't need somebody to give me money. I don't need you to give me a hug. Just get out of my way. Don't shut down Ian Smith's gym. Don't shut down his gym. And so we look around during times of crisis to see where the morality and the morals and the foundational principles are of our elected officials. In Oklahoma, we have State Senator Nathan Dunn. Nathan Dunn, you come on for a second. This guy absolutely believes that a pandemic does not suspend the Constitution of these great United States. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Nathan Dunn.
Thank you, Ken. It's a novel idea that a coronavirus or a novel coronavirus does not supersede the Constitution in this day and age of all things. But what people don't realize is when somebody comes to you and tries to push back and say, well, where in the Constitution does it say that the government can't do this? Your answer is that the Constitution is a document to restrain government. That is the intent of the Constitution. We don't ask permission from the government asks permission from us. That's the way this works. And if we go back even before the Constitution to our founding document, it says that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, right? Government does not grant us rights. Our Creator does. We are endowed by our Creator with certain rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? We all know this, but we sometimes forget the next portion of the Declaration of Independence. What does it say? It says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. Why are governments created? To secure our rights. They don't grant us our rights, God does. They're supposed to protect our rights. Dr. Fauci does not allow us to do whatever we want. He's supposed to work for us. The media doesn't determine what our rights are, God does. And the Constitution protects that. But we forget that too often, even at the state level. So many people forget it, Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Senator Nathan Dunn. Fighting for your rights. Fighting for your rights. Thank you, sir. As this year has gone on, I've been looking for other doctors who've been effectively treating COVID-19 patients without killing them. How many of you saw President Trump get up there and try to thoughtfully, carefully, and compassionately lead the nation by suggesting that hydroxychloroquine was effective? How many of you, go ahead, I don't care about HIPAA, I don't care about being sued, I don't care about anything because Jesus did not have a 501c3, ladies and gentlemen. I do not care about being sued, I do not care. I'm just going to share with you the truth. I don't care. So, President Trump mentions hydroxychloroquine. How many people, I show of hands, I don't care if it's HIPAA compliant, I don't care. How many of you have taken hydroxychloroquine? Are you dead? How many of you who have taken it are dead? It is affordable. It is safe. It is a malaria medication that's been around for 4 decades. Who knows these words to be true? And it is never a long time to share the truth. And so Dr. Keith Rose is a guy that I kept seeing over and over and over and over coming up, and it's like another COVID patient treated, no death. Another one treated, no death. I start thinking, if nobody's dying and he's treating, perhaps that's a good thing. So then that gets you banned from Facebook. Who's been banned from Facebook this year? Who's been banned from Facebook? Who felt the initial Facebook guilt? You're like, I don't know what I did, I felt bad. People are going, girl, you got shamed, you got shut down, girl. Girl, you gotta play it safe. You can't be talking about the Rona. You can't be using China virus, that's offensive. We might know someone who's Chinese, they might sell us. Girl, you can't be saying Rona. You can't be drinking the Corona because that's going to offend somebody with the Rona. You can't be making fun of the virus because somebody died of the virus. Somebody's going to die! It's called car accidents. Do you know 250,000 people die every year from hospital accidents? Which is more than actually die from COVID, hospital accidents. You are statistically more likely to die by going to a hospital and listening to those idiots than you are. So, this is a doctor who's a critical thinker, Dr. Keith Rose. Let's hear for Dr. Keith Rose to share us 100% COVID-19 treatments. Thank you, Jesus.
Romans 1:18, and righteousness suppresses truth. We have a nation that has just kind of gone down that road right now, and we're seeing it with COVID-19. We knew, I'm part of the intelligence community, the other side, but we had an after-action report on SARS-CoV-1 in 2003. It was very detailed. It gave us great ideas on what we should do, and Dr. Fauci headed up that committee. He did not follow one of the recommendations from SARS-CoV-1. I was working overseas, and I called my buddies in India, because in India you can't socially distance in Mumbai. It's not going to happen.
Who's been on a bus in Mumbai? Who's been on a bus in Mumbai? They look at you and they go, they want you to share a secret with them right there in Mumbai.
And I called a buddy of mine and I said, hey, how are you guys dealing with this? And he goes, we're fine. Hydroxychloroquine is sold for 10 cents over the counter. They had no problems. The DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, had a geospatial report that came out. I don't know if they actually looked at it, because we looked for medical intelligence at all the third world countries, the soccer fields. We wanted to see where these mass treatment areas would be, or mass graves, and we didn't find any. Because unrighteousness suppresses the truth. This is the most treatable disease, and it's the way that they're handling it that is crushing this nation. And it's very intentional. And it's for the church to rise up and start speaking truth.
I want to make sure everyone knows, there's a book I want you to write down. I want you to get this book, own this book, and maybe you can pull that out of my bag, Julie. It's in my book, it's in my bag, it's the blue book. It's called COVID-19, The Great Reset, written by Klaus Schwab. And denial is not just the river in Egypt, ladies and gentlemen. These idiots have actually written a book called COVID-19, The Great Reset, talking about how this is their window. Here it is. It is a pandemic. This is the book. Klaus Schwab, head of the World Economic Forum. Right here. Who's seen this book? This is a real thing. Now let me tell you about why we're doing this event. And thank you, Dr. Rose. I appreciate you, brother. We'll see her from you more a little later. Thank you. Man, can you come up here? This is some spontaneous truth telling. This lady came up to me. She looks at me like she's gonna cry. I look at her like I'm gonna cry. Now we're crying. We haven't even spoken yet. So, ma'am, can you share what you were telling me?
Sure,
Who you
absolutely.
are?
Hi, my name is Emily Peterson. I'm a mom of 4. I have a special ed child in the Ankeny, Iowa School District. It has been a long year, to say the least, and I know so many of you are probably parents too. Actually, I'd love to see hands. How many of you are parents or grandparents? Yeah, awesome. We're the biggest advocates for our children. We have to be right now. I have started from the beginning of the school year to try and get this mask lifted off my child. I was told that her disability has to be proven to cause her problems with her learning. So over and over, I tried. She did so bad with the mask. Her learning plummeted. Her emotional well-being is not well right now, to say the least. So after months and months, finally, I went and I said, you will take this religious exemption. It is the law in Iowa, and you will take it. And so they took it. But not only did they take it, but they isolated my daughter in a glass cubicle 6 feet apart from every other child in that classroom, making her feel like a leper. And I know it's happening to children in this country. I know it is. And we need to start rising up and telling the school board that no.
I want to make sure you understand this. I want to make sure you understand this. I want to make sure you all understand this. Thank you for coming up here. I appreciate your courage. I really do.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to pass the mic to Dr. Jim Dehan right here. Now listen to this. Matthew 5:11 in the Bible. I know it's a controversial. It's hard to even say without getting Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't need all that crap anyway. You're here, right? So, Matthew 5:11 says, "Blessed are ye who are persecuted for his righteousness' sake. For ye shall inherit your inheritance in heaven," right? Matthew 5:11. It does not say, "Blessed are ye who hide from lascivious, Luciferian, left-wing, neo-Nazi, globalist morons who are good at memorizing stuff, thus they're a doctor." Now, I have worked, I'm just telling you, this is all going to be televised all over the world. I've consulted with a lot of clients over the years, many of which are doctors. The vast majority of doctors are very dumb. But that's it. No, because it's all about memorization. Oh, you're good at memorizing? Okay. Memorize, vomit it, okay, get an A. Memorize it, vomit it, get an A. Critical thinking, not so much. Who's met a dumb doctor? Who's met a dumb doctor? Vaccine, drug, ADD, drug. There's a lot of idiots out there. A lot of them, they happen to have the title of doctors. There's dumb hairdressers. There's dumb talk show hosts. There's idiots everywhere. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you're smart. So I look for smart doctors. Dr. Jim Dehan, tell us about those masks.
The masks, this couldn't have been a better segue to what I have to say. And I have a special message for the superintendent of Edmond Public Schools. You denied my medical exemption of a child that was being harmed just like this, and it will not stand. I will rally. And we will set the record straight. Masks are harming our children. We have 100 years of science that say masks don't work. This experiment has failed. It's been proven a failure all over the world. Studies of masking in children are showing that they are suffering psychological trauma, medical trauma. Their lungs are being infected with the bacteria that grow on their masks. The masks are being heavily contaminated. Children aren't being trained how to use them. They take those masks off at the end of the day and they put them in a box and they tell the children to wear them again. In some places they're wearing cloth masks that they spray with toxic chemicals and put them on our children's face again. It has got to stop. Our children are not only being harmed, their minds, their bodies, but their spirits are being harmed. The indoctrination has got to stop.
Thank you, Dr. Jimmy. Thank you. We're going to hear more from him later. Thank you. He served our country in the military, and he's doing it again as a doctor. I appreciate your critical thinking skills. Thank you. Man, I wanted you to share briefly what we're going to bring up.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Rice. This is my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, Olivia Rice. She goes to Northeast Elementary in Ankeny, Iowa. She had, the schools there are forcing our kids to wear masks 6 to 7 hours a day, with hardly any breaks at all. My daughter developed a rash around her face that turned into impetigo, that then turned into staph 4 times. We've seen two different doctors. We had seen her trying to get it cleared up, but because we could not keep that mask off her face long enough for her to heal, she got staph infection. The doctors were afraid that she was going to get a more serious illness if she didn't get that off. Therefore, we took our medical exemption. We took it to the school. The school then segregated my child from her classmates. They put her on the other side of the room while everybody else sits on the other side. The kids are told to not go near my child. My child has to be at the end of the line each and every day because she's not 6 feet apart, because she does not have a mask that they think will stop COVID. This has got to stop. The abuse to our children has got to stop.
All right.
Okay, guys, so I hate to pull you away from that. If I could, we would just stand there and film the whole thing, but we don't have to. Our job here is to get interviews from the people and from the speakers. So what I need you to do, because you're not going to want to miss this, is to go to Rhema.tv. You literally go to your bar at the top of your web
Brighteon is having
browser.
some hard times.
And let me spell it for you. RHEMA.TV. And you will be glued to this conference. We've got Phil Waldron coming up. Pastor Greg Locke, we got a chance to listen to him last night. Oh,
It's so
my
powerful.
gosh.
Yeah.
It was so powerful. So what we have to do is say goodbye to you guys for now, but we finally got our internet, at least on your phone, worked out.
Yeah.
So we should be able to do the rest of our streams live. So keep Rhema.tv open in your browser and keep checking back to Resistance Chicks on YouTube or Facebook or ResistanceChicks.com.
I wonder, is this the conference that gets Resistance Chicks taken off of YouTube? I don't know. I don't know about any of what we just heard, if that's going to kick us off or not. I think I want you guys to switch over to Facebook.
Okay.
So far, Facebook has been a little bit freer in allowing us to talk about certain things and not taking all of our videos down. Right. So we will definitely, though, I think we will be back for I'm gonna personally grab the camera for City Path. And that's at around 2 or 2:30, so about in an hour.
Okay.
So I want you guys to get excited, and what I'm hoping for, like Michelle said, is that I think what we are going to do is after these speakers speak, I want to catch interviews with them.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can't do any of them live, which would be kind of exciting.
It would be really exciting.
So we'll see what we can do. Hi there. What brought you to the conference today?
Well, my name is Tina, and I'm a missionary in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And a lady wanted me to come because I'm also a delegate.
You are?
For Logan County. Yes.
I love that.
Because we have to be active in everything, and we're taking back every bit of ground that Satan has stolen from us.
We have Christian delegates that want to take back the ground that Satan stole from us.
Yes.
These are the patriots we need in our country.
It's happening right now. But I have been standing outside of an abortion clinic in Oklahoma City for 3 years.
Wow.
And I have shared the gospel with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who are praying to believe Jesus for their salvation.
Wow.
And God is pouring out his spirit right now, calling all people to repent and to turn back to him and to give their lives to him before he returns.
I love it.
And I'm telling you, He's blessing my efforts down there, and it's not just me. It's called the Church at Southwind Abortion Clinic. And what I do is I stand outside. I used to be a nurse, and I used to work at Crossroads Crisis Pregnancy Center. It's all volunteered. But I had to watch an abortion, and this breaks the heart of God. And where I stand, they butcher and burn alive human beings up to 22 weeks. Now, they are viable outside the womb at 21 weeks.
Yes.
God sees this. And so everybody says, where was Jesus when I needed him? In my time of need, in my time of desperation, and we're right there. We have 25 agencies. We have a free ultrasound bus. So I'm just kind of rescuing the perishing and saving those being led to the slaughter. We get them on the ultrasound bus. We have them signing adoption papers. And Jesus always makes a way. And I get to hold babies in my arms that have been rescued down there. Not only that, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of souls have come into the kingdom down there because God is calling his people out to the streets. We are the church. Everybody says, where do you go to church? I am the church.
Oh, I love
we
that.
are the church.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
What was your name again?
My name is Tina Brown.
Tina Brown.
And they call me the lady at the gate. And I stand at the abortion clinic for the last 3 years on 44th Street. It's 1240 Southwest 44th Street, Oklahoma City. Come on down because you're going to get the gospel.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you so much.
The Gideons have come, and so they're teaming up with me now, and we've got Bibles.
Putting
free
Bibles in the hands of these women?
And we pray, and we have church right there.
Oh.
People stop by, and they get, all kinds of ministry down there.
She's literally expanding the kingdom.
That's it.
Literally expanding
we're taking
the
to
kingdom.
the streets, guys.
I love it. Thank you, Tina.
Well, I love you.
It was so great to see you. All right, let me give you a card. I'm going to give her one of our cards while we're doing it. She's a hugger. We're huggers. Oh, Leah's got one faster than me.
I love hugs too because this is what I've been loving. The security guard who takes us through security, he's giving out hugs.
Yeah.
Nobody's wearing masks.
Because we love each other.
Yeah.
Because we're all the family of God, and
That's
God
right.
brought us together for such a time as this.
Right.
So what do you think of? I think that it is the power of God that's going to break this spell on the nation. What do you think?
Well, when the people of God pray and fast, miracles happen.
Yes.
And let me tell you something else. I've seen miracles. I've even captured them on camera. Yes, I have a picture of a double-edged sword being held in front of my mouth by a streak of light, and I was sharing the gospel with a Muslim man.
Wow.
And so, I'm telling you, we're witnessing miracles. God is pouring out his spirit, and there will be greater miracles in the days to come.
Amen. I love that. Thank you,
Yes.
Tina.
God bless
God
you.
bless
I love
you.
that you came up. That's
Yes.
Thank you.
We need more people like you.
Well, we're taking to the streets, and we're taking it back.
That's
Tell
right.
the people how did you become a delegate? If they want to become involved, what do they do?
Well, I think they register sometime in September. So you need to get a hold of your local Republican Party, and they will let you know. But you do need to become a delegate because you have to make your voice heard. And we're putting our people in office, guys.
Yes.
And they're winning. We've got Senator Hamilton that is a born-again believer. He's standing firm. Senator Dom, and we just put in Jake Merrick for Senate. And I'm telling you, we're going to take back.
Yes.
We're going to take back every piece of ground that the enemy has stolen. And we're going to abolish abortion in this state of Oklahoma to the
Amen.
glory of God.
Amen.
Abolish, not regulate.
I love it. Amen.
Abolish.
Amen. It's so good. God bless you,
Place is
Tina.
on fire. I love it.
I'm on fire. That's right.
Yeah, we need it. We're spreading it.
Because he's pouring his fire into people
is.
right now.
He
Literally pouring a fire into people.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
a fire shut up in my bones, and so does Tina.
That's it.
It's
So
the same
does
fire.
Tina, and it's working, it. Taking the church.
Thank you. We love you.
I
You're
want you to come
welcome.
down and stand down there with
I
me.
wish we could. We're from Ohio. We're only
you
here till
really?
Sunday.
I'm from West Virginia originally.
No kidding. Oh my gosh. She's a Rhema alum, so this is kind of like coming home. But
21 years actually.
Well, it was a pleasure.
It was our pleasure.
To meet you. God bless you. ladies.
God bless Tina.
Thank you.
Good work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
There's
too.
gonna be more souls
You
coming
too.
Monday when I get back down there.
More
Monday,
souls.
I
She's hitting the
expect
streets
babies
again.
and souls to come into the kingdom because
Even
I
more.
expect miracles every day,
Amen.
and God has given them to me every day. Divine
Hallelujah.
appointments.
Hallelujah.
He sets them for me every day.
I love
we
that.
live life with a purpose.
Yes.
To bring in the rest of the harvest before He returns.
It's coming. It's coming
Yes,
in such a
we
huge
are.
way.
Yes.
Looks like it's getting on fire.
It's getting
It
pretty
is.
hot inside there.
Well, God bless you.
God bless
Thank
Tina.
you.
All right, so we're
What
gonna
do we
sign
have?
off.
We want to keep them under an hour. We're at 39. You want to finish up with you want to
Is
walk
this
around?
Greg Locke? Who is this? Oh, okay.
This was powerful.
This was powerful yesterday. Do you want to? Here's the deal. Let's stop it.
Okay.
We're going to stop this one. You want to start another one on YouTube?
Ooh, guys, I want you to keep your notifications on for Facebook and YouTube. It's a gamble. Brrr. Let's go with the Power God. Cindy Powell will not be on YouTube.
Right. No, that'll be on Facebook.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna sign off now, and we're gonna regroup, and we're gonna come back to YouTube, and we're gonna come back to Facebook, and we'll tell you where to find all the different videos, because that's what this is all about, how to get this information to you.
Right. And even though it's not available right now, all of this will be available on resistancechicks.com by the weekend's end. So there you go. All right. We love you guys. God bless.